with Kandia Haynesworth Designs, and thank you so much for joining in. This is actually part 2 of my video to refusing to recover, and the second part of that title is called Forgiveness is for You. And I want to just talk about forgiveness on a grander scale in regards to what forgiving does as a result. And before I get into that, I want to kind of show you what I am doing. I actually went back to Michael's and bought these charms. I showed you guys in a couple of weeks ago. I bought this charm and a bracelet that I had saw at a craft show that this lady was selling for $35, and I had talked her down to $30, and it just didn't sit well with me. And then I went and I found it regular price at Michael's for $8. Well, just as I was told, these went on sale 50% off, and then instead of them being $3.99, they were $1.98. And so I just kind of racked up, because I don't know if I'm going to sell them at craft fairs, if I'm going to give them away as gifts to people in my family. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I was just jumping for joy, and I just bought a whole bunch of them, as you can see. They got the cutest little sayings on it. If you are into scriptures and Bible verses and stuff, then this would be a good gift for you, good gift to give. I mean, and it's just so expensive, and inexpensive, and the quality of these charms, I can't even believe that they are able to let these charms go for $2, but I was able to get these charms, and I don't know if you could see what it says, but they are really cute. And I just love the little verses that they have on them. I just love them. And so, you know, I guess looking at all these Bible verses and scriptures engraved on these charms, I feel compelled, I guess. I'm just kind of feeling compelled to talk about the power of forgiveness. I mean, we talked about it in the first video when I talked about people actually refusing to recover. But, you know, I want to talk about what happens when you do. What happens when you do recover? What happens when you do forgive? You know, we did talk about how forgiveness is more so for you than it is for the other person. But let's talk about what it actually does. I gotta tell you that, you know, this year I have been deceived by 2 people that I truly loved. 2 people that I truly loved. And by the way, neither one of these people were my husband, because I know people know that my husband and I are currently separated. And my husband and I have currently filed for divorce. But my husband and I are friends. I've known my husband since I was 5 years old. And I will always love my husband. And my husband will always love me as far as I'm concerned. But it's just something that, you know, I guess we are both at that point where, you know, we're just both done. You know, I mean, but you never know what happens. You know, if somebody had asked me 6 months ago if there was ever a chance of reconciliation, I would have said absolutely not. But you know what? Because of so many things going on in my life, you just never know. I put it all in God's hands. I'm just that today I can say we are not reconciling. But if somebody was to ask me, well, what about a month from now? Who knows? It's all in God's hands, right? And so we haven't divorced yet. We just have one pending. It's not a story that, you know, is a good one. It's just something that have happened. And that's where we are. Anyhow, the 2 people that deceived me is not my husband. And in fact, my husband actually saved me. Because he told me about, he warned me about a person, and I just did not listen at all. I just didn't listen at all, not because I don't trust him, because even in the midst of everything, I really still do trust him with everything. I know that if nothing else, he will always have my interest, you know, at heart. He will always want to make sure that I am safe, and will warn me if he have to, and he did. And in fact, I don't know, I just did not listen, and things came to a head, and I had learned that I had been deceived tremendously. I had been deceived for a period of 9 months, and I was just very devastated that this person could deceive me in such a way right before my eyes. And I think it was because, you know, when you're going through something like a divorce and a move, and I'm moving my business and I'm moving my life, and I'm looking for a place, and I'm looking for a place that I can call my home and headquarters, and it's an emotional thing. It's an emotional thing. It's an emotional thing. I am a strong woman, I promise you, but that was very life shaking. Then I lost my aunt, an aunt that I was very close to. So in the midst of all these things, you know, I was deceived right before my eyes, and it hurt me. And I gotta tell you though, I had to make a choice on what did I want to do with, now that you've been deceived, now that you've hurt, now what? And the now what had to be, it's time to forgive. It is time to forgive. It is time to let this hurt go, to bury that anger, that bitterness, get out your system and let it go, because it was not helping me prosper. It wasn't helping me move forward. It wasn't doing nothing for my business. It wasn't doing anything for me personally, but bottling up and making me angry and making me bitter, and nothing good was coming out of not being able to forgive. While the other person that deceived me, I still am a little bit puzzled behind that, because with both people, I have been a very good supportive aid in their life at some point. I mean, one person, I can tell you, they had some trying times in their life, and I was extremely supportive, you know, chauffeuring them back and forth to court, and child custody cases, and child support cases, and yeah, getting out of my bed to come and chauffeur somebody to help take care of their stuff. And then another person, you know, got into a fight and banged up the car and didn't have a way to get home, and I got out of my bed to go get this person, and it just you know, in the meanwhile, I'm still going through my stuff. So what I can't understand is, how did you watch a person hurt, and yet, you know, because you know, when you're going through something like that, you tell people who you are close to what you're going through. In my case, I did share a lot of my stories with both of these people, not knowing that even though I was hurting and I was going through my own thing, they also had a knife behind their hand and stabbing me in the back at the same time. But I can tell you that it became for me a mission to move on, because even though both of them are no longer in my life, both of them have, I can tell you, apologized to me several times, but it was just something that I could not get over. And because I couldn't get over it, I had to let that friendship go. There was no reconciling those relationships, even though, you know, that's part of forgiveness. Sometimes it wasn't in this case. It wasn't healthy for me. It wasn't the best choice for me, and I had to let it go. However, when I did let it go and I did become forgivable, you know, I thought that the idea of becoming a forgivable person, I didn't even know that I had it in me, because I was so angry and so bitter and so hurt and just still in shock. I didn't even know what would happen if I even tried to forgive, you know. And I think part of being able to forgive, in my opinion, is standing in your truth. And you know, for me, I'm an analyzing person, and so I analyzed everything. How did this happen? And how is it that even my husband knew that certain things were going on? And I don't know if it was just a case of him having better tuition than me, or I don't know what it was, but all I know is that he actually saw something that I did not see, and it ultimately played out, and it was just a really horrible, bad experience. And in it all, in the midst of a divorce, he still had my back. He still had my back. He still didn't want to see anyone hurt me, regardless to what we were going through. And I will always appreciate him for that. I will always appreciate him for that. However, you know, again, for me, forgiveness came about giving birth to peace. So when I realized that I was pregnant with forgiveness, you know, it's like you are pregnant with a baby that you don't know what the sex is, but when that baby is born, throughout all that pain and stuff, the baby is so beautiful. Same thing with forgiveness. You know, you can brew on forgiveness and think about it, but right when you are ready to forgive and you have let it go, I can tell you that the beautiful feeling that you get from feeling peaceful and being able to move on and being able to even possibly talk to that person again and just know that they obviously had something else going on that you couldn't help them with. And so because I know that I was good to both of these people, I am able to say, you know what? I didn't see that there was a greater problem that met the eye. Both of them had issues that I thought I was helping with, but they had issues that was greater than what I had the ability to help them with, and I just didn't realize that. And so that's part of my forgiveness, that this was not my fault at all. And you know, it's a choice that people make. People make a choice how they're going to treat someone else, period. For whatever the reason is, it still is a choice. People make a choice if they're going to lie, if they're going to steal, if they're going to do this, if they're going to do that. And whatever choice that they make for whatever reason, the choice is really theirs. It's their choice, not yours. You don't get to choose if somebody's going to lie to you or not. You don't get to choose if somebody's going to steal from you or not. You don't get to choose to do that. If somebody's going to betray you or not. The only thing you get to choose is how you are going to react. So make sure that you react in a way that's going to bring about peace, that's going to bring about harmony. And how you know that you are aligned, how do you know? It's because you feel it. You feel it. That's how you know. And I can tell you what I mean by being aligned is your heart and your mind is in alignment with each other. That's what I meant. Your heart and your mind is in alignment with each other. That's how you know that you are at peace. And how do you know that you're at peace when your heart and your mind is in alignment with each other? Because it's a blended emotion. It's a blended emotion that kind of piggybacks off of each other. It's not a conflicting emotion. In other words, you have a situation where you don't have your mind saying, Kandia, you shouldn't do that. And your heart is saying, oh, but you want it so bad. No, your heart and your mind is in full agreement. And the result is peace. Peace. You feel good about whatever decision you're making. You're able to move on. There's no disruption. There's no bitterness. There's no anger. It is peace. That's it. Doesn't mean that you hate the person. No. I can honestly say I still love both of these people very, very, very much. Now, honestly, I feel sorry for both of them. One more so than the other. But at the end of the day, I had to make peace with myself, and making peace started with forgiveness. So that is the result of forgiving a person for something that they have done to you. Now, I know some things are more hurtable or cause a greater pain than other things. I do know that, but ultimately it still is your choice on how you choose to respond to someone, regardless to what they have done to you in your life. And I just want you to know that. And so that's all I have for you today. I like to hear what you think about in regards to peace. I like to hear what you think about in regards to forgiveness. I like to hear what you think about in regards to what I said, in regards to how do you know that you are on the right path in regards to forgiveness and peace? It being that your heart and your mind is emotionally blended, in full agreement with each other. You know, full agreement with each other means my heart says yes and my mind says yes. You know, not a conflict, and they're not fighting each other. So I like to know what you think about that. That's all I have for you today. If you like this chit chat video, give it a thumbs up. I gotta tell you that I do have some embroidery videos coming up. Yes, I am returning to embroidery tutorials, and I know that most of you who are watching my videos know how to embroider already, but it's not really teaching you how to embroider. It's really just coming up with some ideas. We got Christmas coming up, and so I'm gonna be doing some Christmas idea videos, you know, so you can promote to your customers early on. You know, I know some of you have started already. And so I hope that the upcoming videos are helpful. Meanwhile, I know that some of you have been enjoying my chit chat videos, and I've gotten a lot of feedback, and I appreciate you watching my chit chat videos and telling me that you like the direction of it. It's different, and yeah, I just appreciate your loyalty in watching my videos. Well, until then, you can find me in the group Embroidery Boss and in the group Dollar Tree Moneymakers on Facebook. You can also come visit me on my page at candiahaynesworth.com on Facebook and my website. And until then, I'll see you next time. By the way, I do have a pre-order list for these bracelets. And if you want to order these bracelets, you can send an interest inquiry text to my office, which is not my studio, my office, where my computer stuff is. That's upstairs. 570-731-3100. 570-731-3100. All you have to do is text me interested in yellow bracelets, and when I get them in, I will text you back, and if you would like to buy them, you can buy them, and that's it. But I'm just trying to get a pre-list. You don't have to submit a deposit or anything like that. I just want to kind of get a head count on who's interested in these yellow bracelets, and they are quite cute. I absolutely love them. I've gotten so many inquiries on the blue ones, and so I am super happy to be able to offer these to you all who watch my videos. Until then, I'll see you next time. I've been so congested lately too, guys, so my voice, I know, sounds very cloggy. Yeah, I've been drinking some tea on that. But until then, I'll see you next time. Hopefully my voice returns back to normal soon. Bye.